got him, Sergeant.
I'm sure of it.
Come on.
I see no reason why we shouldn't leave for home tomorrow.
So much for tomorrow. But for tonight, what do you make of this, Watson? I found it in Tanner's room.
Just a photograph?
That's right, old boy, just a photograph. You notice anything else about it?
Part of it's missing.
Bravo, Watson. Now, if we can find the missing half, notice the discoloration of the torn edge, faded signature. The upper half was torn off sometime within the last year, I should say.
Well, why all this fuss about an old photograph?
Watson, have you ever stopped to think that the science of detection is very much like stringing a handful of beads?
I can't say I have.
Well, it is. And in this particular case, you might say that I have 5 beads. Journée, Brisson, Tanner, Lord and Lady Penrose. So far, I haven't had any thread to string them together. This, gentlemen, is our thread. And I think I shall start with Lady Penrose.
But Lady Penrose is dead.
The dead can tell us many things, Sergeant. You and Dr. Watson remain here at the hotel. I'll meet you later.
I'm sure you got Tanner, Sergeant. But Mr. Holmes is never satisfied with a dead criminal. He has to sit in on the post-mortem. Come along. Let's go downstairs and celebrate the death of the monster.
That's a good idea, Doctor.
So the great Sherlock Holmes becomes a common thief. You realize, of course, that I might have shot you.
I knew that you'd refuse to see me, so naturally I had to take that chance. Tell me, who is Alistair Ramson?
What has he to do with your being here?
Perhaps this will explain. Found the lower half in a room occupied by a boatman named Tanner. The upper half was in Lady Penrose's safety box.
Alistair Ramson murdered a fellow actor in my wife's company. He was sentenced to life imprisonment. The whole thing was a great shock to her.
So she retired from the stage and you married her shortly after?
Yes.
Where and when was this murder committed?
In Quebec, 5 years ago. Ramson was shot 3 years later trying to escape from Talon prison. His body disappeared in the St. Lawrence.
Was it ever recovered?
I don't believe so.
Penrose, Alistair Ramson and Tanner are one and the same person.
What?
It was he who sent the upper half of that photograph to your wife as a warning.
What could my wife have in common with a murderer?
Yet he killed her.
He killed her?
Yes. The monster was none other than Tanner himself. We found a shirt impregnated with phosphorus in his room. Tonight, when we faced him with the evidence of his crime, he bolted and jumped out of the window into the river. Sergeant Thompson fired a couple of shots at him.
He's dead?
In a way, yes.
I don't understand.
Tanner is dead only because he was discovered and had therefore outlived his usefulness to his creator. But I'm afraid that Alistair Ramson, the actor who created and played the part of Tanner, is very much alive.
But surely, now that you know who the murderer is, the police...
It's not quite as simple as that. During the time he's lived here, Ramson has undoubtedly established another character for himself, perhaps several others, who are by now familiar to the people of the town of Le Mans Rouge and quite above suspicion. He could be almost anyone in the village. He may even have been your butler, Drake.
This is fantastic.
Yes. Yet Lady Penrose's death is only the beginning. There's no saying where this madman will strike next. Tell me, Is there anyone else in La Mare Rouge who may have been connected in any way with the case of Alistair Ramson?
Judge Brisson was the magistrate who tried and sentenced him.
Operator? Operator, give me Judge Brisson's home. It's urgent. Judge Brisson, this is Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, I'm quite all right, thank you. I've chained up the dog, as you asked.
As I asked? I haven't telephoned you before. Somebody's obviously imitated my voice in order to gain access to the house.
Well, certainly, Mr. Holmes. I'll lock all the doors and await your arrival. Yes. Nora! Nora!
If I can be of any assistance, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, but I'm afraid...
You think Judge Brisson's life's in danger?
I only hope I'm in time to prevent a second murder.
That's Mr. Holmes. Show him in. Hurry up, hurry up.
Judge Brisson! Judge Brisson! Nora! 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 Nora!
You know who it was?
I don't know. I don't know.
Hello? Operator, Monsieur Journet's cafe. I want to speak to Sergeant Thompson. It's urgent. Sergeant Thompson, this is Sherlock Holmes. I'm at Judge Brisson's. He's been murdered.
Judge Brisson's been murdered.
Judge Brisson.
The murderer gained access to the house, gagged and bound the housekeeper, then disguised as Nora, murdered Judge Brisson. I'm returning to the old Delaporte Hotel on the chance that he'll go there to change his clothes and assume another disguise. Ask Dr. Watson to meet me there as quickly as he can, will you? You'd better come here at once and take charge. Right.
Throw your revolver on the floor in front of you and raise your hand, Sherlock Holmes.
I should have thought you would have felt more at home in the spotlight.
I see you finally identified me.
Jack Tanner and Nora the housekeeper were brilliant. You should really take a bow.
It's too bad you appeared on the scene when you did, and I had to ring down the curtain on the monster.
Your recreation of the monster of La Mort Rouge as a means of murder must have given you great satisfaction. Why did you kill Lady Penrose?
I see no reason why I shouldn't tell you. I couldn't bear the thought of another man possessing her.
And Judge Brisson?
During the trial, I grew to hate him. And when he sentenced me to prison, I vowed that someday I would escape and kill him.
I see. Obviously, you planned still another murder. Otherwise, you'd have returned to the safety of your first disguise and defied me to find you.
You're right. I am. There were 3 people in my life who had no right to live. 2 have already died. The 3rd remains. Tonight, I shall kill him. Mr. Holmes, I've always had the greatest admiration for your talents.
Thank you.
Your performance in this case has also been brilliant. So brilliant that I'm afraid I'm going to have to ring down the curtain on it a bit prematurely.
Mr. Ramson, we are artists in our fashion, not creatures skulking in alleys. If our positions were reversed, I shouldn't think of sending you to your death, lacking a few stray pieces of the puzzle.
What do you want to know?
The name of the 3rd person.
I have no objection. If there is a hereafter, which I doubt, you and he will meet very soon, Mr. Holmes. The name of the 3rd person is...
Coming, Holmes. Look out, Watson.
All right, Watson.
Where is he, Holmes?
He's gone.
Thank heavens you're safe.
Thank heaven you came and you did. There it is, Watson. Look out.
So you got away again?
Yes, Watson.
Over that warehouse roof, most probably. What a fellow's a room.
Yes. This is obviously the secret room where his disguises were created.
Looks like an actor's dressing room.
He is an actor, Watson. One of the finest acting talents of our time. Look at this. Nora, the housekeeper. His name's Alistair Ramson.
Alistair Ransom? Never heard of him.
No, that's not important. The important thing is that he murdered Lady Penrose and Judge Brisson.
Great Scott, he did it.
Yes, Watson. This Ramson is a paranoiac. His orgy of crime is not complete. There's still another. I was just about to learn his name when you so conveniently fell down the stairs.
Sorry, old
You
chap.
needn't be, old boy. You saved my life. Look at this, Watson. Tanner.
Tanner. Where do you think he'll strike next?
Obviously, Journet is to be his 3rd victim.
Journet?
Yes, Watson. As in the cases of Lady Penrose and Judge Brisson, Journet also felt his presence. But in each case, it was vague and unexplainable.
Well, what connection can he have with Judge Brisson or Lady Penrose?
Journet was a guard at Talon Prison, where Alistair Ramson was confined. He's the 3rd person against whom the murderer holds a grievance.